Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. And I thank you for watching the video. But this is Doug with the second time around. This is my channel where I talk about my watch collecting adventures and journey through horology. And I talk about the watches that I've bought, both secondhand and brand new. Now, in this one, I don't know if I'm just an idiot or an asshole. But before I get started, the watch of the day that I'm wearing is my Omega Planet Ocean Chrono. It's a heavy watch, but I love it. So the topic of the day is these watch companies. It's like I just see brand after brand and in my belief, screwing over the consumer. I first talked a lot about how Notice made a limited edition watch, and they were numbered on the back up to 100. Then they turned around and made the exact same watch with the name, but without any of the numbers on the back. And they thought, well, it's because customers wanted it. And, the first 100 were a limited edition because it has numbers on the back. But, the next 200-300 that they made, those weren't the limited edition. And that's just complete hypocrisy. And then I talked about one of my favorite watch brands, Strom. They seem to be using the same dials over and over. And they made dials with stainless steel. And then they turned around and threw a carbon case on them. Titanium. And called it a completely different watch. Even though they got the same name. But the case was different. Well, one of my favorite watches, and I was wearing it yesterday, and here's a video of it. It's the FORMEX Forum. And that's a German group that is into horology. And it was supposed to be a limited edition of 120 watches. And I love the look of it. It's a blue dial sunburst. Well, today on Facebook, I suddenly see an ad from FORMEX, and they're advertising a different watch, but it's not a different watch. It's the same freaking dial. It's even described as the same dial that they used in the watch that I bought. The only difference is it's now in a carbon fiber case. And I'm sorry, maybe I'm just stupid or again an asshole. But I think just because you switch up the case material, that doesn't make it a different watch. You tell me if I'm wrong and I'll show you the pictures here. But it's like, I know they're trying to stay in business and make sales, but come up with different designs. I know you're capable of doing it. I mean, there's supposedly over 12,000 watch brands in the world now. And yeah, we know that a lot of them are homage watches. And, you look what Phobius did with their Kraken brand or Kraken models. They took the exact same dial from Strom, probably got it in China, and all they did was flip the dial over, flip the design, but it's the exact same watch. And when I contacted Strom about it, they supposedly were in shock, but nothing gets done about it. It's the typical Chinese bullshit of counterfeiting and copying other watch brands. But, as a collector, it brings me down. And it makes me want to stop collecting watches. At some point, it makes me want to just sell the majority of my watches. I buy watches because I think they're unique. I buy them because of the dials. And it's just when they keep copying each other or just remaking their watches and just changing one small thing, and then calling it a new model. And, when I talked about the limited editions, especially with the micro brands, they're not limited. They simply don't have the money to make a couple of thousand watches like the Omegas and some of the other major brands. So they say, oh, this is limited edition. We're only going to make 100 of these. We're only going to make 200 of these. And, you look at Ocean Crawler. They're constantly saying, oh, we're only making 100 of these. And then it takes them 2 years to sell the frickin' watch if they only made 100. And we already caught Ocean Crawler with some bullshit, So we call them out in another video. Great watches, great dials, but their marketing was bullshit. So anyways, folks, sorry for the rant. Sorry for the negativity. But again, this is my adventure and journey through horology, and I just felt that I needed to rant on this. The companies keep screwing us collectors over. So anyways, I hope you have a better day than I had this morning, and you take care of yourselves. Thank you so much for watching the video. Bye.